yesterday once more.
There's a certain kind of song that doesn't just play in the background. It stops you cold. It takes you right back to a kitchen table, a car radio, a slow dance, or a goodbye you never really got over.
She went calling wildfire.
The 1970s gave us dozens of songs like that, tracks where the artist wasn't performing, they were confessing.
But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanted.
Today we're counting down 15 songs that still have the power to make you homesick for a decade that shaped who you are. Stay with us, because the further we go, the harder these hit. Let's begin. Number 15, Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues.
Nights in white satin,
Written years earlier but re-released and finally topping the charts in 1972, this song feels less like a pop single and more like a fever dream of longing. Justin Hayward wrote it as a young man pouring out feelings he barely understood himself.
just what you want to be, you will be.
Inspired by a set of satin bed sheets given to him as a gift. The orchestral swell, the aching vocals, all of it captures a kind of romantic yearning that words alone couldn't hold. Decades later, that opening flute line still stops people in their tracks. Do you remember exactly where you were the first time you heard it? Number 14, Rainy Days and Mondays by the Carpenters.
Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
Karen Carpenter had one of the most quietly devastating voices in music history, and this song proved it. Released in 1971, it captured a kind of melancholy that wasn't dramatic or loud, just honest, the feeling of a gray afternoon and a heaviness you can't quite explain.
Nice to know somebody loves me.
Richard Carpenter built the arrangement around that same gentle sadness, letting Karen's voice carry the weight. It became one of the group's signature hits, and it still plays on quiet Sunday afternoons everywhere.
Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
If this one has ever caught you off guard on a rainy day, you know exactly why it made this list. From quiet sadness, we move to a song about a love so complete that even loss couldn't tarnish it. Number 13, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face by Roberta Flack.
The first time ever I saw you.
Roberta Flack recorded this so slowly and so deliberately that some radio producers worried it was too intimate for daytime airplay.
Ever I saw you.
Released in 1972, it eventually reached number 1 and won 3 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year. The song had actually been written years earlier, but it took Flack's hushed, reverent performance to turn it into an anthem of first love.
Ever I lay with you.
It's since become a wedding standard, but underneath the romance is a rawness that feels almost too personal to listen to. Isn't it strange how a song written before most of us were born can still feel like it's about our own lives? Number 12, Sunshine on My Shoulders by John Denver.
Sunshine on my shoulder.
John Denver wrote this one during a particularly gray, overcast winter, longing for the kind of simple warmth that sunlight brings. Though it was recorded in 1971, it wasn't released as a single until 1973, and it climbed all the way to number 1 in early 1974.
To make you feel this way.
There's nothing complicated about the lyrics, just pure gratitude for small joys, and that simplicity is exactly why it still lands so hard. Denver later said he was surprised by how deeply people connected with something so plain and honest. Sometimes the simplest songs carry the heaviest memories.
In my eyes can make me cry.
Our next entry takes us from Sunshine to Shadow, a song about a love story with an ending too painful to say out loud. Number 11, Photograph by Ringo Starr.
But all I've got is a photograph, and I realize.
Co-written with George Harrison, this 1973 hit became Ringo's only number 1 single as a solo artist, and it's soaked in a kind of bittersweet nostalgia that feels almost prophetic looking back now.
I thought I'd make it the day you.
The lyrics describe staring at an old photo of someone gone, aching for a past that can't return. At the time, it was simply a beautiful pop song about heartbreak, but for generations of listeners since, it's become something closer to a hymn for anyone missing someone they've lost.
Every time I see your face, it reminds me of...
Do you have an old photograph that still stops you in your tracks the way this song describes? Number 10, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac.
Till the landslide brought me down.
Stevie Nicks wrote this quiet, aching reflection in 1974 while sitting in the snowy mountains of Colorado, wondering whether to keep chasing a music career or walk away entirely. Released in 1975, it wasn't even a major single at the time. Yet it's grown over the decades into one of the most beloved songs about aging, change, and the passage of time ever written. Nicks later admitted she still can't quite believe how personal that private moment of doubt became for millions of strangers.
Time makes you bolder, children.
Isn't it remarkable how a song written in uncertainty ended up giving so many people comfort? Number 9, Wildfire by Michael Murphy.
She went calling wildfire.
This haunting 1975 hit tells the ghostly tale of a girl and her horse lost in a snowstorm. A story so vivid, it feels like folklore rather than pop music. Murphy said the song came to him almost in a dream, and that eerie, dreamlike quality is exactly what made it stand out on the radio. It reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the most requested songs of the decade, despite Murphy never returning to the top of the charts again.
The world went by our side.
There's something about that piano intro that still gives people chills. From folklore and loss, we turn to a song about someone counting down the moments before goodbye. Number 8, So Far Away by Carole King.
But you're so far away.
Released on her landmark 1971 album Tapestry, this gentle ballad captures the quiet ache of loving someone from a distance, wondering if the road will ever bring you back together.
Nothing else to do but close my mind.
Carole King wrote it during a period of constant touring, missing home and the people she loved most. It never became as massive a single as some of her other songs.
But you're so far away.
But for listeners who've spent years apart from someone they cherish, it hits harder than almost anything else on this list. Have you ever had a so far away kind of love in your own life? Number 7, Alone Again, Naturally by Gilbert O'Sullivan.
My own, alone again. Naturally.
Few songs from the decade are as devastatingly honest as this one. Released in 1972, it topped the charts, despite lyrics that openly wrestled with heartbreak, disappointment, and even fleeting thoughts of giving up entirely.
Talk about God in His mercy, if He really does.
O'Sullivan later explained the song wasn't about one single event, but a collection of life's quiet disappointments folded into 3 aching minutes. Radio stations at the time debated whether it was too dark for daytime listening.
Why did He desert me in my hour of need?
Yet audiences embraced its honesty completely. Sometimes the saddest songs are the ones that make us feel the least alone. Number 6, The Way We Were by Barbra Streisand.
The way we were.
Written for the film of the same name, this 1973 ballad became one of the defining songs about looking back on love with both fondness and regret.
Scattered pictures.
Streisand's performance is so tender, it feels like she's remembering something real rather than simply singing a script. It reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won the Academy Award for Best Original Song.
Oh, has time rewritten every line?
Decades later, it remains the song people reach for whenever they're trying to make peace with a chapter of life that's already closed. What memory does this one bring back for you? Number 5, Yesterday Once More by The Carpenters.
It's yesterday once more.
Released in 1973, This song is almost eerily self-aware, a tribute to the very act of nostalgia itself.
When they get to the part where he's breaking her heart.
Remembering the songs of youth playing on the radio, Karen and Richard Carpenter built it as a love letter to the music that shaped their own childhoods, never imagining it would one day become exactly that for millions of listeners looking back on the 70s.
It's yesterday once more.
The gentle strings and Karen's warm, aching voice make it feel like a hug from the past. It's the kind of song that makes you miss a version of yourself you haven't thought about in years. Number 4. Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin.
And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon. Little boy blue at the...
Few songs have made grown men cry quite like this one. Released in 1974, it tells the story of a father too busy to spend time with his son.
Well, I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up.
Only to find the tables turned when he's older, and his now-grown son is too busy for him. Chapin's wife, Sandy, actually wrote the poem that inspired the lyrics, based on a real regret involving her first husband and his own father. It became a #1 hit and remains one of the most quietly devastating songs ever written about time slipping away.
And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon. Little boy blue at the man.
If you've ever called your own father after hearing this song, you're far from alone. Number 3. Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce.
But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanted.
Jim Croce wrote this gentle, aching ballad after learning his wife was pregnant with their first child, wishing desperately he could freeze time and hold on to every moment.
And dreams that had never come true.
Tragically, the song was released as a single in early 1974, just months after Croce died in a plane crash, and it became a haunting #1 hit that felt like a message from beyond.
The box would be empty except for the memory.
The lyrics about wanting to save every day until eternity take on an entirely different weight knowing what happened next. It's impossible to hear this one without feeling the years slip through your fingers. Number 2. Vincent, Starry, Starry Night by Don McLean.
Starry, starry night.
Released in 1971, this tender tribute to painter Vincent van Gogh became one of the most beloved songs of the decade, a gentle meditation on beauty, misunderstanding, and being ahead of your time.
What you tried to say to me.
McLean wrote it after reading a biography of the artist, moved by how deeply Van Gogh suffered while creating work the world wouldn't appreciate until long after he was gone. The song reached #1 in the United Kingdom and became a top 10 hit in America.
What you tried to say to me. How you suffer.
And it still plays like a quiet prayer for anyone who's ever felt unseen. Our final song brought comfort to an entire generation during some of its most uncertain years. Number 1. Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel.
Like a bridge over trouble.
Released in early 1970, this song became something close to a national hymn, offering comfort during a decade that would bring war, division, and enormous change. Paul Simon wrote it after hearing a gospel record, wanting to create something that felt like a promise, that no matter how hard things got, someone would be there to ease the burden. Art Garfunkel's soaring vocal performance turned it into one of the most powerful recordings of the era, earning 6 Grammy Awards including Song of the Year. Simon later admitted he almost gave the lead vocal to himself, a decision that would have changed music history entirely. Even now, more than 50 years later, this song still feels like someone reaching out a hand exactly when you need it most. 15 songs, 15 memories, and probably a few moments today where you had to pause and just sit with a feeling you hadn't visited in years.
She went calling wildfire.
That's the strange gift of these old songs. They don't just remind us of the 70s, they remind us of who we were, who we loved, and who we've lost along the way.
But all I I got is a photograph, and I realize.
Which one of these hit you the hardest? Tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. And if this trip back in time meant something to you, please like this video and subscribe so you never miss the next one. We'll see you next time.
My own